game right about now. We're going to be kicking things off with Border here. We've got Falcons starting off on the attack.
Falcons obviously would have had the chance to VOD review this map. We've seen NIP play it. NIP, we did feel yesterday, Ollie, they really misunderstood the grasp and how you had to hold Border in terms of the defensive capabilities. M80 were lightning quick yesterday, weren't they? They knew what to do on Border. It was a great map for them. It really showcases the way they've developed Spoit more than anything and how they played around him. And NIP just they were too static, Ollie. They were not moving around the map. If a position gets lost, they just allowed everything else to crash around them. They really need to be a little bit more proactive. Really take it to Falcons. The whole point of Border is why you try and hold every single room on the map is to make sure none of the attackers can get in the building. That's what you try and achieve.
Border really is that map where you need to have that excellent presence. And we saw NIP, they didn't do terribly on Border yesterday against M80. I think that's a real serious stylistic clash of playstyles going against one another.
Yeah.
It wasn't fantastic by any means.
I mean, it was a 5-1 half for M80, Ollie. I mean, that's
pretty
bad.
Bit,
I will say NIP, their playstyle will suit Falcons. They'll be better against Falcons, the playstyle wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've seen that yesterday. Falcons, it was a little be able to respond. It's certainly a big day for them because this is still, it's do or die. It's not the same limitations as yesterday where it was you lose the game, you've still got a chance to fire back and come up through again. This is it. You lose, you're out of the tournament today.
We're in lower bracket final here, Demo. This is really do or die. You can't afford to leave anything on the line, and maybe we could sort of cycle back a little bit and talk about the map pick and bans. Obviously, we're going into Border now as our first map. You look at the two other maps that have been picked inside of the series. We've got a cafe and then we have a villa. So NIP haven't done a terrible job there of navigating the map bans.
Yeah, they've done pretty good.
They've done pretty well. They've got a couple of maps that they were successful on yesterday. Yeah. It further limits what they've been giving away as well. Of course, in a tournament like this, it is important to somewhat limit the map pool that you're giving away because obviously teams are going to prep and things of that nature. So Cafe and already being played, of course, in the Falcons NIP round 1, as we maybe are going to start to call it, in those upper bracket semi-finals. Fantastic map for NIP, and I'm expecting when we get onto that map too, they're going to continue in that sort of a vein.
I think if NIP take Border today, I think it shows, well, it depends how they play it. If they've actually changed their playstyle, I'll be very, very happy for NIP because obviously if they do win here today, there is that possibility that, who knows, they could meet M80 again in the grand final. That's a potential matchup, and you'd love to see a Border again, wouldn't you, between those two sides, and see if NIP have really learned from the mistakes that they made. But it's shaping up pretty nicely. BDS is there now, so we know whoever wins this game here today, they will go on to face BDS, which is not an easy game after the display they put against W7M, who, Ollie, I didn't think W7M were going to get beat.
If you'd have asked me at the start of the day, for what is your most sort of dead set guaranteed prediction, I would have had to go. I would have had to turn my back on Europe, and I would have had to greet LATAM with open arms.
They're just that team's so good.
W7M, surely they win today against BDS. And then what happens? We didn't try. It was a team performance, no doubt about it. But there was a good couple of rounds there. I mean, it was the Brede clutch in the end, but such a fantastic team, a team that we know is very, very capable.
And then, of course, if you look at our other game, which will be coming up after this matchup, it's LATAM versus NA. W7M Oxygen. Then go on to face M8, whoever wins that one. Oh, we've got some big matches coming up in the next couple of days.
We certainly do. Looks as though we're going to be getting ourselves into the game now. Once again, thank you for your patience during that short technical break.
Thank you for your patience, Ollie. Great film.
My patience comes, comes for free. I'm looking forward to getting stuck into this one now, and I'm sure that the players are all chomping at the bit to get involved as well.
I like this immediately from NIP. Look at the lineup. A lot different. We see the Lion come in, we're seeing a Ying, we're seeing a Glaz. These are operators we expect to see. These are operators we want to see. NIP were running Thatcher yesterday in Border, for goodness sake. That's what we were dealing with, Ollie. You know, it's...
We did see that, and we were quite critical of it. NIP were only good for 2 rounds on Border yesterday against W7M. Some of them were close rounds.
I want to see them hit it fast, because as well, like during the back end of that NIP MA game, they were actually trying rushes. They were playing a little bit quicker, which we questioned this team's too slow, but yeah, I think now with the lineup, it makes a lot of sense. Falcons, though, looks as if they're looking to play a little bit more aggro. One player on Adore, one player in the window. If anyone does go, he's going to be ready for it. This is shaping up to be an east-sided take. Look where Cons is at the moment as well. The Ying on sandwich window. The strongest position you can play Ying and Border is on that window. You can flash out both sides. You can roll the Candelas in towards Archives. You can flash out small box towards half wall. You will create all of this chaos. Muzi can backstab Armory on the back of that, so it will be very, very strong. And a Glaz and a window can cover up a lot of the strong angles. The CJ lad is outside. No, Psycho is ready. In goes Con. He's going to swing in. Is he going to plant or is he going to go for the kill? He's straight in with the LMG. Gets it down. The backstab right into Quibs.
This is exactly what we were asking for yesterday. We were talking about that backstab, talking about that sandwich repel. Con's already looking to get that diffuser down. There is a Solace, but there's no indication that they're on the gadget trying to figure out where that plant is going. And well, slowly but surely, it is only P9 left standing. Wizard takes him out there from the top of these metal stairs. So much better from NIP. That's exactly how to execute an attack onto that bomb site.
The penny has dropped. They finally realized that this is how you have to play Siege. You have to play fast and furious. That's the way it happens. Perfect. That's exactly what you do. Ying, it just showcases how strong she is on that sandwich window. He swung in. Generally, we're seeing plants go down, but no, it was just kills.
Well, he got a kill and then started to get the plant down. There was a prioritization list there.
Yeah, because using as a distraction for them planting archives, that's usually what you do.
I was kind of surprised to see Cons go for it straight away on the swing.
Yeah, it was very quick, yeah.
That was, even, you know, for sort of a rush standard, that was kind of pacey.
If we didn't expect it, then probably Falcons wouldn't have expected it either after the first Candela.
Falcons were expecting some sort of east-sided take, weren't we? Look at the position of the players. We had somebody in office.
Because you naturally think Archives plan.
But you naturally think Archives plan. Nobody thinks that it's just going to be a site cut in half with someone coming up main stairs, someone in sandwich window, and then outside on Vent's window.
You can also add a flare into that strat, just if you guys want to try it at home, you know. I'm more for Stuart, I'm doing the cooking channel. You can fire in an Amaru going in through sandwich window and planting the window.
Yeah, that's the
stuff like that you can go for as well.
Exciting stuff, a rapid way to get around on the board here for NIP. We're going to see a site change forced out of Falcons as well. We're going to go downstairs, bathroom. Makes sense. They obviously, you know, just got rolled on that top floor and maybe need a couple of rounds to think about it, figure out how they want to approach it again.
Warden is up. Haven't went for it though, which is a bit of a surprise. Surely after what's happened to them, Warden's like, yeah, get it locked in immediately. We need some backup. And look at the value the Brava drone's getting. Gets 2 pieces of equipment, one of them being the bulletproof. Joker will have to destroy his own camera. And realistically, Ollie, that's one of 2 bulletproofs that's already gone. One of them still being the pocket of P9. He hasn't placed it down.
And he was able to disable the Mozzie Pest as well. From obviously the Mozzie Pest activates and you kind of catch the drone back for your own team. So again, Wizard, tons of value out of the Brava. And this is what NIP are quite good at. They're good at finding out all this utility and setting themselves up. Their fact-finding is usually quite good. Ooh. C4 shot out there midair. Psycho just waiting for his time to strike. Maybe finds a second. But no, Joker does dip himself back into office just at the right moment, but the pressure's mounting.
I think Moosey seen his life flash before his eyes there. That C4 thought it was going to blow up, but he didn't. He got it just in time. Joker takes a bit of damage, has to fall back now. He's going to go for the reinforcement onto the fountain wall, but nobody from NIP is going to capitalize on that. But realistically now for NIP, no one's in office, no one's in the hatch. Theoretically, they could just jump on the site. That could happen. We seen Iconic do it yesterday. He was just around the site at 2 minutes. Don't know how he got there, don't know what happened, but that's something that you can exploit if teams do not have control of the hatch.
Potential for a bit of a retake here. We've got Quibs and O-Kills there just coming up the top of those metal stairs, but it's going to be very short-lived. Pino is still outside on that ventilation. O-Kills probably feels like he can't transition from the top of those metal stairs any further. And look at NIP's commitment here to the map. They've only really got Wizard inside at the moment. A lot of players being able to do quite a bit from outside. Wizard's going to wait for the sun to come through. Fenrir gadget or not, that does not matter. He's going to shut Joker down. Continuing this man count advantage here for NIP.
Yeah, one player downstairs, one player above. Just the one player downstairs now as O-Kills does fall. P9 has the DMR in hand. Does hit hard Ollie, but he needs to find 5 players, and I just don't think that's feasible. There is a Brava inside the site, going to be moving in for the kill. Do they know where he is? P9 ready. Does find one, but that does lurk. Now, everyone from NIP to his position, and Pino will pick up the remains. NIP, very clean again, Ollie. That was a lot more of a controlled execute. They know what they wanted. They took, what, maybe 20% of the map?
They didn't need to take a lot at all. Very little commitment to the map.
Took east, that was it really.
They were still catching people out on the rotations.
Yeah, you seen there was a double stack of a rotate coming up towards metal stairs.
Yeah.
There was a bit of information clearly was not provided because Falcons, they had players in towards Fountain. We've seen that. We've seen what happened to the Fenrir. Why is that information not being relayed to the players flanking saying there's a guy in ventilation window? If you try and walk up the stairs, he will have an angle on you. You know, I'm surprised at that. That information should be fed.
It's almost difficult to sort of realize and come to the realization that Falcons beat G2 yesterday. And then we're seeing this. We've just seen 2 of the cleanest rounds from NIP on a border where Falcons, they've got the run of the team. They can pretty much bring whatever they want. They've got Valkyrie, Solace, they've got Fenrir available, they've got tons of stuff at their disposal. And they're not able to come up with these little simple solves. Like, where's the Warden? You know, look at NIP. NIP are doubling down on this now. They're going, yep, no worries, we can run this back. Doesn't matter if it's not the same site that we kick things off. Glaz Warden, Glaz and Ying is still a fantastic combination. We'll throw the Amaru in there this time as well. Cons, you're feeling yourself. Fly yourself in through a window somewhere, go on.
Oh yes, I love this. They're going to go straight in through the rotate hole. If the rotate hole is made though, there's a few teams that don't make it just for this entire purpose. P9, is he aware there's going to be a Marion towards him? The Incandels go in through the bathroom drone hole. The plant is going to go down from Cons right in the window. A perfect execute from NIP. This is what it's all about. Cons has been killed though by the gate Ollie as he tried to jump back in, but it doesn't matter. He done his job. He got the plant down.
And Pino's tucked in here to the side of Tellers. He can now work this window and assist his teammates. Finds himself a second on the round. Joker, O-Kills, you've got a lot of work to do here. Gets caught out by the Nomad as he's sent back and then forth into Moosey's sights. O-Kills again going to trigger 2 out of 3 of those air jabs, getting a lot of value out of that inside of this round. The smoke is still going off. We've still got Candelas piling in. We've still got a Glaz and an upside down repel. O-Kills, you're not got a chance at disabling that diffuser, especially with the time that is left remaining. We're just going for kills now, and it's going to be Wizard to find it. Lightning quick from NIP.
I'm starting to like this team. I'm starting to like NIP because this is right up my street. You know this is my siege all over. It's so, so good. This is the way you have to play Border. Border, it is a map where you can just cheese these rounds out. You know, I think the last time we seen a push like that was probably, what, Invite? Whenever, I think, the Mighty Gids done it with a Blitz, didn't he? He jumped in and used the smokes, tries to plant right beside the sofa, but doing it with the Amaru. The reason why they went for the Amaru is it will insta-break the window, so you don't have to shoot it open. So, you know, teams will obviously hear, you know, windows being shot open, you're ready for that. P9 didn't have a clue, because you don't hear that, you just hear the Gara hook, and the last thing he's probably expecting is the Amaru coming in through, you know, a ground floor window, for goodness sake, but it's a great way to do so. He's straight in, and the plant goes down immediately. Glaz in the post plant is so strong, that upside down repel, being able to obscure the vision. Look at this. Like, how do you play against this? You don't. You don't.
You can't win against that.
Oh wait, there's a Warden. Never mind, they don't bring Warden, which I don't know why they haven't fought. Yeah, we are getting absolutely rinsed by this combination of operators. Let's get the man with the glasses in, who is designed for this.
Well, they have just taken a timeout, so maybe the content of that timeout is, let's bring Warden.
Get the Warden in.
Get the Warden. Let's give ourselves a little bit of a moment to breathe. And, you know, let's start to play into this quick play meta. If that's what NIP are going to start bringing,
yes,
let's bring some things to counter that.
Warden.
We've got the Warden. It's a start.
It is a start. But it doesn't really help them with the lineup that NIP have brought. This is the issue with it now.
Well, NIP can play both ways, can't they? They can either play the sort of looser fast way with the Glaz and the Ying, or they can just revert back to a little bit more default. Cons is this time going to be 6-picking onto the Ossa. So this speaks a lot more of a much more default plan.
I look at NIP and think, why were they not doing this yesterday against M80? If they learnt this overnight, I'd be really surprised. Because the way they're playing, it's as if they've done this for a few months now, Ollie. And we didn't really see that from them. It's strange to see. But they can play the meta now. They can. They've showcased now 2 rounds. You know, the classic rushes have worked. And the thing is with those rushes that they went for, you may know a team's doing it, but you can't really stop.
Still not much you can do about it.
You can't do much against the Ying or the Glaz, because those operators are designed just to always win the 1v1 engagements.
NIP getting a little bit of info here, finding out Joker is going to be hiding out inside of CCTV. Does have a couple of ephemery gadgets on the wall to assist him. J-Lad, he's looking to move through. Pick of the Warden this time hasn't really worked out so far. There's obviously flashes and things like that, but there's only 3. You're not really going to get too much value out of it. You've still got a good gun, still got a C4, so you're not too down and out just yet. In this instance, J-Lad has actually opted for the shield instead. Pino getting himself into a bit of bother at the top of those east stairs. Very minimal so far from NIP. They're really taking the time with this one.
Yeah, this is where they've slowed the pace down. I wonder what the idea is from NIP. It looks as if they're maybe just trying to probe and see if there is any picks maybe lurking that could happen for them. Again, this top floor, if you lose security, for example, then you kind of lose Fountain. If you lose Fountain, you lose office. It's that generic code that gets embedded into this map where you have to try and hold everything and make sure you have the man count to your advantage. One thing I do worry about is the man just prone right beside the triple wall. If he gets droned, he's dead. But if he goes undroned, then he could be in for an absolute freebie on the Pino.
NIP are really using this spot to force a mistake out of Falcons now. They're trying to get a rotation. They're trying to catch somebody out. You can see Joker's taking a good portion of damage there as Muzi is really starting to work his way in and around that security area. P9 is going to find one onto Wizard. Was the prone player inside of office. Joker is going to pick one up as well. First time that we've seen a couple of kills going Falcons' way. They've got the opener and the one after. This time it's NIP that are lacking on the refrags, and well, it seems as though they are going to continue to lack. It's all down to Muzi. Still not being able to take good control inside of office. The diffuser now cold on the ground just outside of security. The best situation for poor old Muzi to be in. He's going to get swung there by P9. Much better from Falcons, or much worse from NIP. They just totally reverted back.
Yeah, a bit of both. I think Falcons, they understood the core concept, keep them out of the building. You see the east wall being opened up, trying to kill them in east as they come in. But they let NIP come into east. You know, we've seen Muzi sitting there just underneath the camera all day long. But he never really, or Pino should I say, he never really done anything. He just sat underneath the default cam and just held down the long corridor. You know, I think NIP, they didn't really know what they wanted to go for. They didn't know, do they want to go in towards security? Do they want to challenge these guys in towards east? You know, that's a gunfight that doesn't look all too flashy, but it's a very important one on border. Getting that first kill is so important. And as we know, still, against a team like NIP, where it's very rare that we'll see them pull back rounds from behind, it's crucial, and that is the most important thing.
I really liked how Falcons held the nerve there, because they didn't go looking for it. NIP were really trying to force a mistake. They had a lot of crosses covered. They were holding some long angles, and Falcons were just saying, yeah, we're kind of happy where we are. Like, we don't really feel like we have to move.
Of course, yeah.
You have to push us. Like, we've relaxed into the game a little bit. Yeah, you've got a couple of early rounds, but you know, we know the inherent strengths of defense on Rainbow Six, and that is that you don't have to move, you can just wait for people to come into you. I think that NIP maybe just spent a little bit too long trying to force a mistake or an error there.
Some great Bravo value today. Once again, Con slips in, has hacked a gate, has hacked a default cam, can check out if anything else is there. Oh, gets a Fenrir gadget. Now, this is an important one because, again, Ying can be used to not only just flash into the bomb site, but what she's really good at, if you look at this bomb site, there's a lot of verticality above. If you don't want to take above, and you know there's going to be defenders playing on the holes, which there is from Falcons, you can just flash them from the sandwich window that we've seen be used earlier. So it's a good way of just denying any control of the above verticality without having to go above.
It's looking very direct so far from NIP. We've got 3 players all huddling there around this B window, hopping. JLad is above.
Just 3 of them above.
With Quibs. It isn't going to be just as easy as hopping yourself in and getting the plant down. You are going to need to pay some attention to above, whether that is with a flash, with a smoke, or something of that nature.
So what they also have, they have Pino coming in towards East. They also have a player going towards Armory, and they're going to plant right on the doorway. In goes the Candelas, so they will blind anyone who tries to go for the verticality, but no, JLad will find him through the smoke. He has not been flashed, he has not been found, and Falcons have completely collapsed on NIP. Pino, who tried to push upstairs from East, he's been taken out. Psycho does get a refrag, though, onto P9, tries to challenge the vertical angles, but it doesn't work for them. And Muzi, he's all the way over in Bathroom. What was he trying to achieve?
Well, it was on the backstab, but it was a very unsuccessful backstab. He's got a little bit of info here. He knows that someone's hiding out inside of customs. He knows someone's at least above, potentially 2. Depends on how much he's got to really work with here. The default cam's going to have given a heck of a lot away there for him. The diffuser's going to be cold. It isn't going to be about the diffuser in this instance. Finds the first onto O-kills, potentially grab a second as he moves himself up these main stairs. Gets some damage in onto Quibs, but he knows he's being pinched from both sides. JLad, patient there, just holding the bottom of those main stairs. He stopped the plant from going down and picks up the final kill in the round.
JLad, that was his round there, wasn't it? Got him through the smoke. It's almost as if he kind of tucked his way right into the corner of Armory, so the Candelas wouldn't catch it, as they were kind of for a little bit too deep almost. It wasn't as close onto the vertical angles as what maybe it should have been, so just showcases that you need to make sure that the Candelas are placed, you know, correctly. They were thrown in deep, they're not going to be able to see him.
It was a great little 3-2-1 from Falcons in these sort of aggressive jump outs and things of that nature. There was 3 kills in about 2 seconds. A great attempt by NIP, but as you said, just a slight misplay on the utility side of things.
Yeah, good hold from Falcons. Good hold from them, NIP. Again, they went for that quick push that time, but I think you have to look at Pino and Muzi. They have to try and create more of a chaos as that plant's going in.
Yeah.
You know, as that diffuser's being planted, Pino shouldn't be placing claymores on a window. Muzi should not be in bathroom. You know, they should be with the team.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Or just harassing at Armory door.
He should have stayed at Armory door because he was at Armory door earlier. Muzi was there, and then he left. He should have stayed at Armory door. You need to create some form of pressure. I told you before about Border. Pressure, pressure, pressure.
Cheeky little spawn peek there from JLad. Just puts a couple of cursory shots in Muzi's direction. Not looking for anything more or less than that either. If he gets a headshot, he gets a kill. Fantastic. If not, just letting him know you're there. Chance at an even half here for Falcons.
Yeah, it would be a very good half also in the midst of that, considering NIP looked very poor in the defensive half yesterday against M80. NIP, again, they went for the more tame lineup. It's going to be a little bit more slow for them, a little bit more precise. Obviously, we've seen the rush come in the last time, and it worked a treat for them, but they're not going to go for it again. Falcons, they've brought operators in response for that. They have the Warden now, so they can deny that class. And reload. One thing, just on the side as well with Falcons is I think they've got really, really good value out of some of the Aruna gates today. Just slowing that down, and it's an operator that we don't see all too much these days because she is that unfortunate at 1 speed. Psycho finds one. Cons though, a great run out from JLad, and Cons, he's not ready for that. He was more focused on the guy inside the break room, and Wizard probably have question marks there. Should have been covering that.
Quite possibly, might have been caught out in the drone or something. Pino, he's going to be outside on ventilation. Seeing if you can find anybody on the cross upstairs. We're going to look at that bathroom teller site again, and of course we remember the success that NIP had there previously, but not looking to repeat the same trick twice. I'm going to be going for a slightly different approach this time. They're certainly well in that fact-finding mission portion of the round where they're going to look to try and gain a little bit of an advantage. There should be no excuse for any electronics left kicking around. Look at what we're bringing. We're bringing a Brava and an IQ. Almost double redundancy there.
Oh, Solus and IQ both seeing each other. O kills, takes a bit of damage. Pino takes a little bit more. Psycho will find his second in the round. O kills. That said, Solus is eliminated. Quibs, I think he's by himself inside of Workshop. He's going to be up against it because there's two players looking to move in towards the main door. It should just be a classic drone him. I'll push him. And hopefully the end result ends in a kill, but Quibs is fighting back. Wizard goes down. Joker above. He too will find an engagement, but now they know where he is from below. Quibs finds one, but not before Muzi gets the refrag. Joker with one on the Psycho. And Muzi once again, Ollie has to try and get a clutch.
Muzi left in the clutch once again, picks up the down there onto Joker. Now in the 1 versus 1 versus J-Lad. He knows exactly where he is. He's just going to hold his nerve, but J-Lad, he peeks left and he peeks right. Picks the right window in the end. Nail biter there as a final round to close the half, and it's all level, 3-3.
Falcons have got a bit about them now, Ollie. A bit of steam in their locker. One thing you have to say about Falcons is they're not giving up. You know, at 3-0, we've seen yesterday, it almost just limped away into the darkness, but no, they've got something about them. Like that, for example.
Claymore there.
Yeah, like, Claymore's a bit of a...
That's not a great Claymore.
It's not, but at the end of the day, someone should be holding East. The fact that someone's run out of East at like 2 minutes is scandalous.
Well, it's because it's Claymore, isn't it? It's, oh, there's a Claymore there, we're safe, but the Claymore is actually not very good Claymore.
Claymores are not good unless it's a window.
Yeah.
Facts. Literal facts.
A little bit of frustration starting to show on the side of NIP. They had some early success on this border attack. Picks up 2 lightning rounds and bringing a really exciting brand of Siege. And they just seem to have regressed a little bit, Demo, especially those last couple of rounds. We saw quite a timid at 9P. We saw an operator lineup that you could maybe throw a question mark at. Is it necessary to bring both the Brava and the IQ?
I don't know why they've slowed down.
Yeah, where has this come from?
You need to play the quick Siege. And they showed that they didn't. They showed that they can play that way, and then they didn't.
A lot of Falcons fans in the crowd here today, of course. Hometown team. They're going to be pretty thrilled with that comeback. Not done too badly so far, especially to salvage a 3-3 half from the way the first couple of rounds went is impressive indeed.
Still a long way to go yet.
Certainly is.
And obviously NIP, defensive half. How will things differ from what we've seen against MA, which was really that's where they lost the game. It was all about the defense for them. So I hope that they've done something new. You still went for that dock, and you weren't a fan of that yesterday.
I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I'm not the biggest hater of it either. I totally understand why it's brought. I'm not sure how effective Falcons are going to be with nades from below and that sort of, you know, real thorough droning. If it does become something that's quite apparent, then yeah, sure, keep rocking the dock. Realistically, what else would you bring? Because all the NIP want is a 1.5 times. Yeah. That's all they're after.
Yeah, valid, yeah. Definitely valid to have the 1.5x. I think especially for that position where you will be fighting long angles, you think towards breakdoor, for example, 1.5x comes in really handy there. I don't think they have that shield there last time on the door. I think they did. I think they had that shield in their strategy. Just gives them just an extra potential swing if they need it. They've sacked off the castle today, which is one that we mentioned before. How much, you know, yeah, the castle of NIP is becoming quite synonymous, and I don't know if it was the greatest help for them. Nades from below is the order of today. Ollie, did you order any nades today?
I think we should put a little bit of an order in.
I think they're coming up.
Are they en route? Have we got a driver?
They should be. I hope so. But again, that had to be reinforced. It's going to keep them nice and safe. Psycho, nice and safe. So Falcons, as you can see, are just getting themselves in position. There's the pin being pulled, and he will nade. Nobody's home for the first one. In goes the second one. Psycho, you should hear nades from below. You should just sit safe on the hatch, and he will do so. The second one, is it going to be let rip? Nope. Maybe just waiting for a more precise call-out for the team. Okill's also probably looking for a kill below with his set of nades. But as you can see, no one is really in a position to be naded inside of Armory. Wizard, he's standing on a concrete floor always, so they can't even touch him.
This is the problem when you've not got the information to back it up. And it's almost not good enough droning that info for yourself. And if there's a reinforced hatch and you're playing a dock, you're wasting your time.
Oh, but they killed him though. He swung. Psycho swung the window. He's been eliminated. That is a great nade from Okill's. Wizard has moved away from his safety position. There we go, Ollie. We ordered some nades and we got one.
Redeemed. If the nades from below don't work, you better have someone in position to catch them on the rotation, and that's exactly what we saw Falcons doing there. Cons has now moved into security, and he's going to try and make something happen from here, but look at all those yellow pings. They know exactly where he is. They know for certain that there's somebody hiding out inside of there. Muzi going to get a great kill over onto J-Lad as Joker. He's made his way into Archives. Quips finds two, excuse me. Muzi caught in the pinch as the final kill comes in for Joker.
Wow. NIP giving away the early picks, and it just collapses again. What is it with NIP? Just too static. They lose players, they lose kills, and they do nothing to get them back. They do nothing to get them back. Oh my goodness, NIP losing the first defense. And Falcons, they're right in the thick of it. And it's got the crowd going on.
We talk about this hometown advantage and the crowd buff that teams from all over the world get, depending on obviously where they play. If you have a EU team playing EU, then you get a bit of a crowd buff. You have a MENA team playing MENA, yeah, you get a bit of a crowd buff. And it just so happens that this time it's the Falcons that are on the receiving end of those cheers. Clinical take upstairs. I think they did a fantastic job. I was quite critical of the nades from below. I think that J-Lad maybe missed a little bit of an opportunity with one of them and didn't potentially have anyone else working with him, but when it all comes through and you get to see the bigger picture, you can see there was someone there up there ready to collect that kill over onto Psycho. And again, we can remain critical of the dock demo.
We can. Castle comes in, which we did mention before. Strategy from NIP may look a little bit complicated for everyone down there, especially if you look towards east. You can see that one of the double doors is castled, and you have that rotation going into the bomb site. That is going to be a good way for NIP to hold down east a lot more safely. You don't have to worry about, having to hold customs. You can give them customs. That castle barricade being there will block off the sight lines, and it will give you a chance to get back into sight if a rush does happen, which we know on border that is very likely to be the case. Upstairs, you can see the castle barricades towards east. It's really just about holding down east. I probably would like to see a deployable shield also stationed in towards east there just to give more of a control. But deployable shield these days are quite difficult to come by, as we know. Yeah.
We're in an economic downturn for deployable shields, demo. It's become one of the rarer things in this game. P9. Not so quietly, but still sneaking in on the Nook. Does have some drones working at his feet. Quite easily could find himself a freebie here as long as somebody gets droned out.
That barbed wire, the Wally, it's going
to stop him from advancing any further.
What's going on here? J-Lad trying to move in towards kind of front desk area, and does get pelted back, and that's because there's players inside of east, they can hold that angle.
Now going to try his luck at moving downstairs as P9 turns his attention over toward Workshop. There's going to be a player in there scurrying away. Pino gets caught out there as he tries to run back to the safety of sight. We're going to send a nade in through to Showers now as well, just to see if anyone's kicking around in there. And Psycho has found himself down. Not sure if that was off the back of the nade or not.
Muzi trying to clamber back in alongside Cons, who's found 2 kills for his trouble. Wizard is the lone player in sight, but he's got support from the hatches above, but never mind. Okills has eliminated Cons on the hatch, but Muzi is there with the refrag. Never mind, there goes Wizard. Doesn't need to cover no more. It's actually been a drop coming in for Muzi, and a 1 versus 2. Again, this player needs to go for another clutch.
Well, he's going to have to try and navigate this castle barricade that his team have set up for him. A little bit of an advantage here, certainly, for Falcons. They've got him in the pinch. Muzi finds one onto J-Lad. He's just going to land a couple of bullets, but no, it's P9. That's a shot you've got to hit, and he hits it.
My goodness. That was an almost for Muzi. Again, very, very tight round that we have, but Falcons, P9, incredible in that round, incredible. Really starting things off, you know, on the Nook, looking to maybe move in towards upstairs. Can't do it because the barbed wire. Finds another option then downstairs. Finds a lone player by himself. This kill right here. And really... 2
players from NIP got shot in the back running back to site.
That kill flustered NIP, because then they started trying to get back into the bomb site. I will say this, you see a kill here. This is needless. Why is he swinging that? I don't know. Why? Because there's 2 players above. They still have control of the site hatch. Needless. And we've seen NIP do this yesterday, where they will swing an angle for no reason. For no reason at all.
It's even more blatant in the replay as well. You know, in the heat of the moment, we're looking at the whole thing.
Oh, we've got everything.
But we've got receipts on these players now. We've got the replays, and that really does shine some cold, hard truths on some of those peaks that maybe shouldn't be. 5-3 now as we move into round number 9. We're going to go upstairs. NIP's first attempt at this top floor site. We've got Psycho on the dock again. At what point do you just place someone below and try and deal with the person coming through detention?
No. I think... I'll be honest, I don't know if Psycho's the right player for that position, because that's a few times where I've seen an overswing for no reason. That Brazil location, which is that little box there, people don't know it's called Brazil, which is quite fitting for, you know, this. And the reason why is it started back in 2017, whenever Brazil were really the teams who started going for this extension in towards security. That's where it kind of started. It was a very strong position for them. And
a free history lesson there.
You know me, encyclopedia and all that. But I don't think Psycho's the right player for that, because he's swinging too much, he's over-peaking. Your main goal there is just to stay alive. That's all you need to do. I think Wamai is more well-suited for that, mostly because, sure, we're talking about nades from below, and you can reinforce the hatch, but that still doesn't stop from nades just flying in through the window and hitting you. I much prefer the Wamai.
Let's see how Psycho manages to navigate that position this time. It looks as though he's got a little bit more support. He is going to be working alongside Muzi as well.
There's the trophy, which don't know what's happening. It was a nice trophy though.
We do have a trophy. You see, this is confusing because we still have a top-down feed.
I would like to see the round.
Oh, okay. Now we don't have a top-down feed.
We have an issue.
That tells us all we need to know.
We've been disconnected, guys, from the game.
So we've had an observer crash in the lobby. Hopefully we'll get ourselves sorted and back into the game as soon as possible.
A lot of flags. A lot of flags. We don't see that from...
We get the odd flags, but not...
Yeah.
Not an ideal time. I think Falcons were just picking up a little bit of momentum there.
Yeah.
Going to be rehosting with the same site. Same operators as well, I would imagine. I didn't get a glance at the clock before we disconnected.
Are they still playing the game? That's the question, because obviously we're a minute in. No, okay, everything's shut down for it. Sometimes we find that where it's the teams will play the round because it's a little bit too late on, isn't it? But it should go back to 5 versus 3. We'll be in as quick as we can. As you can see the players getting into the lobby as swiftly as possible. Chubb's having a word. Muzi, maybe not happy with something. What's going on?
I did see one of the Falcons players earlier picking up the mouse and sort of pointing at the mouse and talking to the admin about it. So I'm not sure if they were having a bit of an issue there.
They're players. Are they ever happy? Are players ever happy?
No, it's always the mouse fault. Change your sense.
It's always something.
Bad game, change your sense.
They all think it's the mouse. It's not. It's your own hand, mate. Get that sorted.
Just while we've got a moment of downtime here, I'm going to indulge in a story.
Oh dear.
SI21
right
in Sweden.
Okay. No, that was 21 was in Paris.
21 was 22 in Sweden.
22 in Sweden.
Demo rocks up, didn't bring any peripherals, and we actually got to take over one of the practice rooms for one of the teams.
Yep.
And Demo
Sandbox, if I'm not mistaken.
Demo was absolutely killing it on ranked with like the worst keyboard and mouse combination you've ever seen. That the total cost of the setup would have been like 20 quid.
Yep.
You could have got the mouse and the keyboard as like a combo deal. It was just office wear, and you were absolutely slaying. And ever since then, I've always really, it's not the mouse. It's not the mouse.
I just thought place for Siege.
Exactly.
You know? Wasn't too bad.
As we can see the lobby filling up here. We are going to be jumping back into Border exactly where we left off. This is, of course, a bit of a time for the players to have a little bit of a chat between themselves.
Yeah, obviously they can think about what they want to do. I mean, I think NIP obviously there in the hot seat. Look, Psycho.
I'm going to play dog on the reinforced hatch. Just let
Your Brazilian's getting good.
Just let me play dog on the reinforced hatch. That's all I want to do.
All you guys need to do is not swing. I'll do the swing.
Just don't swing.
I will swing. You don't do anything. Okay? Whenever I inevitably die, you get ready to refry. Because I will swing and I will die.
With all 3 stims in pocket.
I will be firing the stims at the opponents just to see if you guys are good enough for this game. If you're good enough for this team, you will kill the Ash with 140 health. You will do that.
Imagine if that was the content. Imagine Psycho just comes out and starts spraying the stim pistol around.
It's testing the team.
Brilliant.
NIP, this is it. World champions, the weight of the badge. Big club. Big expectations.
I'm not sure how good everyone's eyesight is, but it looks as though we've nearly got all of the players inside of the lobby. I think we've got a full 5v5, so we're potentially just waiting for a couple of last-minute checks to be performed before we are sent back into the game.
Should we just play medics and easy? It's always a good out, isn't it?
See, this is the time when the observers do the most work, because they have to rebuild the whole lobby.
Oh no.
And they have to rebuild put in all the previous scores.
They have a lot down on a piece of paper, don't they?
They have to write it all down, yep.
We're back underway, ready to go. These teams battling out for that glorious trophy that you just seen on your screen. The second champions will be crowned this weekend, Ollie, off the competition. Could it be a 2-time BDS still, of course, in the competition?
Certainly could now. Falcons, 5-3. Could potentially move them on to match point here. We are going to have to see an entire remake of the previous round 9, which lasted about a minute or so. But it's going to be very similar, isn't it? We're expecting to see the same sort of a setup here. We had Muzi place that shield at the top of 90, Psycho reinforcing the hatch inside of CCTV, making a little bit of a rotation in through to Fountain as well. It's going to be fairly par for the course here. That is NIP's main focus here, is to keep control of that CCTV room for as long as possible.
All about the security, that is what you need. Falcons, they've been very tame in the operator choices. Again, you know, the kind of fast action that we expect to see on Border hasn't really been brought. They're favouring a lot more the nades of 6 nades being brought to the table. Nook doesn't really get banned too much now because she's really open to playing. And one thing as well with Nook, if people don't know, she got the change where now she can be heard as she's walking around if she has her gadget activated. It used to be that if you had it activated, you were like Cav. You just didn't hear them.
The thing is, it's always going to be played because it's 2 nades.
It's 2 nades and a good gun.
It's 2 nades and a good gun.
I say good gun.
You are always going to play it. This is where we start to see the nades come in from below. How good is your information, J-Lad?
A couple of pings.
You were good for 1 last time.
They're not really going near Psycho below as well, and one thing you've noticed, probably because they realize what's the point, you're wasting nades. You can't really get him in an easy way.
This could be a good one.
Ash, no, he's aiming for the roar. Almost got him there as well, Olipino. He should now go and get a dock, so we will see hopefully some value out of the stim pistols. Psycho looks to be rotating over, has hopefully a stim pistol out ready to go. There's the nade, Wizard eliminated. Cons has slipped downstairs, he finds one, he has no idea that O'Kills is right beside him. He's also downstairs with an nade. Psycho, there we go, he swings, he gets killed. Muzi has also dropped below. We have so much action downstairs.
Peanut takes a second swing, why not? Well, I'll tell you why, because you're going to lose. O'Kills from below picks himself up 2. Poor old Pino didn't even manage to get a dock stim inside of that round.
6 rounds in a row now for Falcons. Head loss city for NIP, and they've used the timeout.
Match point here for Falcons. Map number 1 here. This lower bracket final.
I want to see how Psycho died. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh, you're waiting,
I'm waiting for it.
Should we count how many needless swings there were from the side of NIP?
Where's my beloved replays? they're not here today. Yay!
The nades from below are fantastic.
The
I think Jayla did a fantastic job there, because you could see him tempted for a couple. Con's just got super unlucky not to look for the second there.
Yeah, he had no idea.
Why would you look, though? You've got no idea.
Yeah, there he is!
Oh, of course, he's walking out of CCTV door!
Take me! Imagine if you walked in and you walk into a restaurant and the chicken walks up to you and just dies in front of you. Just eat me now! Take me! That's what that was like.
You just sat at the seaside and the fish just jumps out of the sea onto the
It says,
plate.
would you like me today? Would you like me?
10 seconds left.
Oh boy. NIP just...
5 seconds
The
remaining.
defense again, it's carried over from the M80 game. They've played,
Attackers are heading out
what's
to
that,
defuse the bomb.
9 defensive rounds of border? They've won 1.
It's not a great stat line, is it? The saving grace is that the next couple of maps that are coming up are traditionally
It's
decent
NIP
maps for
maps,
NIP.
yes, of course.
So, as long as they can maintain a good mentality, they shouldn't be too concerned here.
But we said that about G2 and Falcons, and we said the second map favored G2. And
Yeah,
look
we
what
did.
happened. Falcons, the momentum carries over, and they train wreck them.
If it runs on batteries, I see it.
P9 searching out on that IQ, seeing if there's anything they could find. Maybe Falcons this
Here
time.
we go,
looking to
here we
play
go.
things a little bit quickly.
Not
They haven't
going
got
for
the
the plant.
glass, though.
He's not going for the plant. We can see the Yings rotate it around now to the other side of the map, maybe looking to move in towards the reception. So that was almost a bit of a bait almost to maybe create some chaos for NIP, make them worry, make them use some utility, but nothing really came off that. That was a bit strange from Falcons, because generally if you're going to go big, you commit to it. They haven't done that.
Considering they've only got 1 Candela left, no smokes. Sure, we've got the Warden, so you're going to need to have a good couple of pieces of utility to potentially pick the right angle to use that utility in. Certainly a little bit strange there from Falcons. I was expecting something maybe a little bit quicker there from them with that utility commitment, but they've allowed NIP chance to sort of stabilize a little bit here.
Falcons have slowed the tempo down, rightly so, but that's an easy pick for Pino. That proximity alarm will give the position of Quibs away. Every now and again we see the proxy alarms get good value, but Joker, he's jumped in through the window, found 1 kill, but NIP, they will stabilize Ollie after losing that first player. Wow, there's a Capcan kill as well in the midst of that NIP. They pull around back, they're back in the game.
I want to see which Capcan it was, because there was an IQ and a lot of those Capcans got found.
I think it was upstairs, where IQ was not.
I'm certainly not blaming the IQ. There is the classic double on the long corridor upstairs in border, which is just a nightmare for the Capcan traps because it's a door that doesn't look like a door. Much better from NIP. Nice to see them not overreact to that initial utility push as well. It would have been really easy to just throw a load of C4s at that and to, really lose a lot of your advantage for later on into the round.
Yeah, Joker just jumps in, nobody's home. It's a good kill. And there's Cons. Didn't see your Capcan kill though.
Capcan kill.
It's tricky because we don't really consider Capcan the gadget as a person, so we don't really have a POV off it.
No.
Only the final kill we really see them, isn't it? Or if we just catch it on the observer.
RNIP going all the way back into this. They need to pick up 2 rounds here.
Okay, so this is obviously Ventilation Room Workshop. They've got the castle. They're going for the kind of east hold again, which it does feel a little bit weird considering that this isn't the bomb site. It's not as if it's bathroom and tellers. It is going to be Ventilation Room Workshop, but they're still trying to hang on to east. Yeah, reinforced break room as well. They got the rotate in. They've castled off as well a long corridor. Double reinforcing bathroom. I mean, right now, if you're NIP, you're basically saying, let's all play upstairs. That's basically what you've done. For Falcons, and looking at their lineup, they've got nades. They could maybe see if they could clear some utility and try and go fast into the site. Maybe that could be an option for them if there is maybe a blind spot, a bit of flooring not being opened up. But whenever there is an Oryx, it's very rare that you would find something not being opened up. Pino looking to get aggressive, actually. Maybe walks out the main door, catches a player, repelling, no kills, falls, but there's a good refrag. Never mind, Cons has got the cover. He was hit away inside of Customs. And Falcons, they've tried to, get the refrags and get the kills back, but NIP have almost baited them into it.
I think Pino owes Cons a chocolate bar for that one. He's kept him in the game. devastating couple of opening kills there. Some good aggression from NIP as well. That's what I'd like to see. Just lurking around the breach, taking your chance. And of course, having your teammate there to grab you back is always helpful as well. It's just going to take the wind out of Falcon's sails a little bit here. Quibs just gets caught out on Proc's alarm. Be too devastating as only a handful of places that he can be in. He's going to look to try and open the breach anyway. Pops himself here into security, just keeping an eye on the top of those main stairs. Great shot from Joker onto Wizard. Wizard just getting caught, peeking out from round the corner, potentially not needing to do so. It's going to be P9 that moves in now to try and make something happen. To fully check out that fountain as the info isn't really there, but he's going to catch Psycho, just looking entirely the opposite way. How has he not heard him there transitioning through? This is looking much better for the Falcons. They lost the opening 2, but they haven't lost one since. Cons, he's lit. He's got shot from above.
And you look at the issue now of losing that top floor. All those vertical angles are going to work against the defense. Both players are on either ends of the map. One in bathroom, one towards jail. They are so separated from one another. This is going to be really tricky for NIP, and look at the HP as well. That goes against them. All Falcons need to do is drone the site, find one of them, and also I just go for the one guy. I would flood him now. They know where he is. This should be just a drop in, get the kill, get the plant down.
Potentially drop from 2 angles as well. They're just going to look to try and exploit a little bit of this vertical angle that is available to them for the time being. There is only 15 or so seconds left on the clock. They're now going to hit the drop, get themselves straight into Workshop. They are actually going to ignore the Solace that was in bathroom and maybe look to try and get this plant down. Pino, he loses the gunfight. Cons, he's got even less health than his buddy did. He too gets taken down. Falcons, they claw it back there, Demo. That start of that round was not looking great for them, but they closed out a very solid border here, taking map number 1.
Yeah, very impressive from Falcons. I mean, just they go 3-0 down. We see the timeout, we think,